here from Rain Country Homestead. God is good all the time. So today is just kind of a rambling, random chat, just about whatever. I do actually have a list I'm going to follow, and so hopefully I can kind of stick to topic at least a little bit. A few things I do want to go over. Some things are really important, some things are just updates. And I'm going to start by the whole crocheting thing. And somebody pointed out after my first video, and I already have parts two and 3 ready to go up now, and now I realize that I forgot to point out how I hold my yarn. And I thank you, Patty, for pointing that out, that I did forget to say that. You take these things for granted when you've been crocheting for, I know it's been at least 15 years, but I think it's been longer than that. That's typically how I hold my yarn, and then I anchor it down with my fingers, and that just gives me better control on this side. That's how I do it. Now you got to find, just like anything else, you got to find your rhythm, you got to find out what's most comfortable for you. So like, for example, and I don't even think I grabbed that right. There we go. I don't wrap it over my hand. See, if I try to slow anything down, I mess it up. The way I sometimes I yarn over with my fingers, like I showed you in the video, just to show, and I do that to show you how it's done, yarn over. But a lot of the times the way I yarn over is I hook it like this. I don't take this other hand. I do this sometimes, it depends on the stitch. Sorry, my dog is just, he's just kind of needing attention right now. This makes it go a little quicker for me. So if you're one that's like, wow, you know, I crochet really slow, then try this little trick and see if that works for you to speed up your pace. It may not. Again, everybody's got to find their own rhythm and what works for them. I had people say that about spinning too. You got to find your own rhythm. I haven't started doing that yet, by the way. I want to, but I simply have not had time. I've got more orders coming in all the time for skirts and aprons and hand crocheted goods. And in fact, I'm working on this special order frontier style skirt that's going to be very different from all the rest because it's going to be completely patchwork. So it's going to have a whole bunch of different, I think it has 6 different pieces of, you know, types of material in it, or colors of material, and it's going to look really cool. But what it means is that each strip has to be pieced together a lot more. So they're little 10-inch squares, and I'm piecing those together. Then I got to put it on, you know, the strips on, and the strips, each strip is twice as long as the strip before it. So I have the first 2 tiers done, but the next 2 tiers are going to take me a lot more time because that's a lot more piecing together. So, but I'll probably do a video on that when I get it done, so you can see. I'm pretty excited about it, and I'm thinking I may have to make one for myself, because so far I'm really liking how it's turning out. And then as far as what I'm working on right now, this is an infinity scarf. I'm not even halfway done with it yet. I just started it last night when I had a few minutes. And anytime I try a new yarn color, like this here, this is called Reef. I'll link to that below, but the cheapest place to buy it is Walmart. As much as I hate Walmart, it is the cheapest place to buy this particular color. And I wanted to try it out, so every time I try out a variegated color like that, I like using it on an infinity scarf, because the infinity scarf just looks beautiful with these variegated colors. So this is going to be a set available for sale once I finish it, and it will have a set of fingerless gloves to go with it. And then on, you know, right, staying within that topic, this bowl here is one of the first ones that Pat made. And he's done a lot of stuff on the lathe over the years since he was a teenager. But this was the first burl bowl that I know for sure that he made, at least for me. And using the defect that was there, because I wanted a yarn bowl. A lot of times yarn bowls will have like a hole, or, you know, some kind of different thing going on over here for the yarn to come through. So no matter what angle you're at, your yarn can come through like this. And so he just used that natural defect and turned it into a yarn bowl. And a yarn bowl is nice because when you have it in a bowl like that, and you're pulling off, it's not going to roll away like I've had happen to me so many times. And so, and this will fit a pretty good size. I can fit up to 4-ounce ball in here. So, it works really nice, and it's beautiful too. So it's a piece of art as well as a very functional, useful thing that I needed. So, now an update on the laundry. And yes, I've been using my off-grid laundry system. Not all the time. I do, like if I have 2 or 3 loads to do, I might do 1 or 2 loads in the off-grid laundry system, and then the other one I'll throw into the into my electric washing machine, which currently is not running off solar power right now because it's been very dark and dreary around here, and we've been getting very little solar power, so I've been conserving that to run the more important things. But again, that's why I'm working on the laundry, ways to wash laundry off grid. And I'm still finding my rhythm, still finding out what's going to work best. And one thing I finally came to the conclusion is that I was initially going to have the right side be the wash tub, and I've been doing it that way for a little while, and I'm like, this is just not working right. And I finally figured out that I needed to switch so that the rinse tub was on the right hand side and the wash tub was on the left hand side. And I'm going to get a cleaner rinse water that way, because my rinse water kept ending up really dirty. And I finally figured out what was happening is when I'd go to wring the clothes out and into the rinse water, most of the dirty wash water was going into the rinse tub instead of back into the wash tub. But if I go the other way through, most of it goes into where I want it to go. So anyway, so I fixed that problem today. I figured that out. So again, still figuring out my rhythm, still doing a few tweaks. And once I feel comfortable with showing it, then I will do a video of that. So I don't know. And also it's going to depend on time too, when I have time to get to showing that, because obviously, next week is Thanksgiving. And so we've got family that's going to be here all week. And what I'm trying to do right now is make a couple of videos a day, so that I'll still have at least a few to put up next week. But yeah, so I'll be pretty busy next week. And obviously next week our live shows are on Thursdays. No live show, clearly. And I'm sure nobody will be wanting to watch it anyway, because they will be and should be spending time with family. And so, but as far as the live show this week, I'll be focusing on marshmallow, what to do with the plant. It's one of my favorite newer herbs that I've been growing in the garden, and so I'll be talking about its medicinal uses and how we've been using it so far, and how we plan to use it in the future as we get more and more plants and are able to harvest the roots. So watch for that, and that is, again, that's 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and 4 o'clock Pacific Time. That's my time. I'm in the Pacific area. So yeah, that's this week's live show. And we'll be talking about other things too. I'm trying to leave some time open for other questions that have nothing to do with, herbs. Like if people have questions for Mr. Rain on whatever, how he turns the bowls or makes wooden buttons or whatever it is that you have questions about. So more solar questions. We're going to try to keep it open for that. And I'm going to try to be better at following the questions. I feel like I haven't done a very good job on that, so I'll be working on that. It takes practice, I'm thinking, yeah. Oh, and then another big thing that I keep meaning to point out is that YouTube has taken upon itself, if you haven't heard this already from other channels, a lot of people are having this problem of deleting people's subscribers. So if you ever stop seeing updates from me, and hopefully you are seeing this now, you'll need to go back and resubscribe, but even more importantly is make sure that when you see the subscribe button on my channel, right next to it to the right hand side is a little bell. Click on that bell, and even if you get unsubscribed, by clicking on that bell, you'll be able to sign up for email updates. So that way, anytime a live show is coming on or anytime I posted a video, you'll get an email update. So that way, you know, if you're really liking my channel and you don't want to miss anything, if you do get unsubscribed by YouTube, thanks YouTube, you'll still get the email updates. I know with some people, if I even look, I mean, it says I'm subscribed to them, but sometimes their stuff doesn't show up in my feed. But thankfully, I still get the notifications in my email. But it's really kind of bizarre. I don't know what's going on, and it's very, very frustrating. I don't know if it's just changes they're making and this is all accidental, or if they're doing it on purpose. But it's happening to all of us. And just know that it's not me deleting you. I don't even know if I could do that. I don't even know if that's possible. It's not like Facebook where you can go delete friends, which that's not something I typically do either. Other people delete me, I just don't delete them because I don't see the point. You can always just unfollow somebody if you don't like what they have to say about politics and whatever. And you can still be friends that way. You know, friends like, you know, be civil. So yeah, check that, you know, and if you happen to be seeing this and you're like, wow, I haven't seen any updates from Rain Country Homestead in a while, then you've probably been unsubscribed. Because I put a video up almost every day. So, yeah, if you're not seeing one every day, then something's going on there. And then one more thing that's totally off from all the rest of this is makeup. Now, I haven't actually had anybody ask me questions about makeup, and I don't know, maybe it's obvious in my videos that I really don't wear much at all. What I do wear is just a little bit, and I've been backing up more and more and more all the time, of homemade mascara. So you know, how I've been able to get myself away from makeup. I never was a heavy makeup wearer anyway, but I did like to fix my eyes up all pretty, though I didn't go really crazy. I just like to have the eyeshadow and the eyeliner and the mascara. And I first started by just not wearing eyeshadow anymore. And then I kind of backed off on the eyeliner and then just down to mascara. And even then it was like mixing the homemade mascara with the waterproof mascara to keep it to stay in place. And now I don't do that. Well, I shouldn't say I don't. There's a very rare occasion I may use the waterproof, like if we're going to town and I just want to make sure everything stays in place. But the homemade mascara, I've got the recipe down, figured out pretty good, where for the most part it stays in place pretty well and lasts all day. Now if I start crying or something, it may not, but yeah, anyway. And eventually I'll share that recipe. I really want to get to the point where I feel like I don't have to wear it at all. Unfortunately, our society has us, especially people my age, grew up believing that, you know, you're not beautiful unless you wear some form of makeup. And I just think it's so wrong. It's like, you know, how did this standard of beauty is something that's fake. It's not even, you know, when people make up their eyes all heavy, and then you see them without their makeup, they look like completely different people. And if you look like a completely different person without your makeup on, then when you're wearing your makeup, that's not you. And to me, that kind of goes back to the modesty thing. It's not even modest. It's being too flamboyant, and you're trying to make people believe you're somebody you're not. And I don't want to be that person. So I don't color my hair. I've been letting my hair grow naturally, or, you know, go gray naturally, and I'm happy with it. I actually get compliments on my gray hair, believe it or not. And I like it. I feel like I've worked hard for this crown of glory. And that's just life. That's just what we're made to do, and I don't mind it. Now, I've had certain people in my family get kind of snotty with me and say, you should color your hair. And I'm like, no, not going to happen. And that stuff's so bad for you anyway, all the chemicals and stuff, which, again, is another reason why you should get away from store-bought makeups, because they are so toxic to you. And the more you can eliminate the toxins from your life, the better off you'll be. And if you're men listening to me, hopefully you're not wearing makeup anyway. But if you're still like me and having a hard time, I've just been backing off a little bit more all the time. And that's been kind of my easy transition into being able to get getting used to seeing myself without makeup so that I can just be happy with the way I am. And I wish I could just have gone cold turkey, but it was just too hard. And I figured too that that will kind of ease other people into it, you know, seeing me without makeup, as if I just back off a little bit more and back off a little bit more, and then eventually they won't notice when I finally stop wearing the mascara. But anyway, so I will still try to put out a video in the future about how to make your own homemade mascara, because the recipe I have now I'm really happy with. I've been tweaking on it for years to find the perfect mix, and I'm really happy with what I have. And all natural. I don't have to worry about the toxins. And I know you can go buy all natural mascara and makeups and stuff, but they're so incredibly expensive to go that route, and when it's just really actually pretty easy and very, very inexpensive to make your own. So anyway, so there's that, and I guess I probably rambled long enough. I probably already hit my 20-minute mark or gone past it. So that's our craft time chat. I haven't had one in a little while, surprisingly enough. Been too busy with other things. Anyway, so don't forget the live show tomorrow night. And thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.